It was good, everybody. It's your boy Eon. You already know me, and this is Forever Still Stroking the Podcast, episode 74. And I appreciate you all for tuning in. Please, let's get this show on the road. If you haven't done so already, please like and subscribe to the channel, son. I really appreciate that. And also, please remember that I am not a financial advisor, but I do have gems for you. So pay attention and let's get this show going, son. And there's a few things I want to talk about. And the first thing I cannot ignore is the fact that the market kind of drop the way that it did. I wouldn't say it was really much of a crazy drop. However, it was very unforeseen, right? I didn't see it coming. Pause. But right now I'm looking at SPY, and I do see that SPY has passed many of my levels that I was looking for a bounce at, and I'm thinking that SPY is just eventually going to settle at a support, not so much as a support on a trend, but a support on, I would say, on an actual baseline. So I have a lot of trends, like uptrends drawn on SPY that have, nice support levels along the lines of this of the trend. And it has broken many of those. So maybe I'm looking for a price to settle at around 440, right, son? That would be nice for SPY. SPY dropped to 440, load up a little bit, and then ride the wave back up, son. Or this drop could take a while, right? It could take a few months to see recovery. Why? Because people are worried about inflation, and inflation is a big deal, and I feel like it is good to be cautious of it. If you look back at 2018, you'll see something kind of similar to what's going on now, right? Also in 2020 we had a drop, but the drop wasn't like this, right? It was more so based off of the fact that, all right, we have this new virus and we don't know how to really manage it well. And we had inflation fears, early on in the year and late last year as well, due to all the money that was printed, especially the things that happened after the election. So you can kind of see, how things are trickling down, right, son? Also, I want to kind of give you some stocks that I'm looking at. But before I go into that, I want to just touch on, what is this called? Cryptocurrencies, right? Bitcoin, son. Bitcoin has dropped under 50K, and these are dangerous levels. If you've been following Forever Slow Stroking, you will see that I had this downtrend drawn on Bitcoin for some time, right? And it's kind of crazy how this is playing out, but it has broken my downtrend in a way that is very scary. Bitcoin dropped. What is this? Bitcoin. I'm looking on the. Oh, okay. So let me switch to the daily. Okay, I'm going to go to the daily. I'm looking at the daily, and Bitcoin has dropped to $41,000, right? And that's type wild. But I do see support for Bitcoin at $40,000, around $40,800, right? And let me go ahead and mark that. And maybe I'll go ahead and add that to I'll go ahead and add that joint to my little podcast joint. Adding Bitcoin. So if you're watching on, what is this called? If you're watching on YouTube, you should be able to see the Bitcoin chart. Oh no, that's Bitfinet. That's what I need. Anyway, so I'm gonna try to make sure I add the Bitcoin chart to this chat, so that way we can all be on the same page there. I bet. And also, I'm gonna go to Ethereum, right? Let's look at Ethereum for a second. I'm pulling that up right now. Ethereum USD. All right. Where's Ethereum at? There we are. All right, Ethereum. Whew. Jeez, son. Ethereum is $4,053 right now, son. It dropped all the way. What is this? $3,400? Ethereum dropped to $3,400. That would have been a fan-freaking-tastic buy. However, I was not paying attention. I was probably somewhere eating or sleeping or looking at something else. But Ethereum has dropped, right? A lot of the cryptos are dropping. And that's what I try to tell people. Cryptocurrency is not a hedge. You cannot use crypto to hedge the stock market right now, because they kind of run together. If the stock market is doing well, crypto may be doing well as well. If crypto is doing well, maybe the stock market is doing well, maybe not as well, but it's pretty much green and green, right? Just like the market is red, so are crypto. Crypto is red as well, because there's nothing definite saying that we need crypto. There's a use case for gold and silver. there's not really much of a use case for crypto, to the point where we have to have it, right, son? Just like oil, we have to have oil. These are the things that are hedged, because these are the things that hold value for so long and that always have usability. So understand that crypto cannot be a hedge for many reasons. Maybe not yet. Maybe in the future it will, but I just don't foresee that happening at the moment, right, son? So let's just be a bit more intelligent in our decisions to hedge, certain things. But now I want to just go into some stocks that I think I'd be looking at for recovery, right? And what was this one that I was just looking at? Okay, GM. So GM is one that I'm looking at for recovery. What is this? Coming out of, this bearish market, right, son? And number one, GM is fairly priced. It's not a multi-$100 stock. So that's one reason why I'm looking at GM. And GM also has not broken my uptrend line, right, on the support side. So GM is still holding price action very well in the midst of this market fall. I would be looking to accumulate some GM. Maybe it'll create a gap down, so that can kind of give me another reason to buy GM for long term, right? GM is valid. They giving great incentives on people who buy, EVs, like tax credits. That's when I say incentive, I'm talking about the tax credit. Like, I know there was an article earlier this year that was saying you get $12,500 tax credit if you buy a EV from GM, Ford, or Stellantis, right? I think that's how you pronounce the name. And if you buy a certain model with a certain price and stuff like that, you can get a $12,500 tax credit. And also Tesla's had tax credits as well, but they weren't, as high. I think they were like $7,500 or something like that, right? But that's still valid bread. So I'd be looking for GM, definitely a money-making move. And GM's been around for a while, right, son? Also, ENPH below $200. I'm waiting for that, son. That joint is definitely going to be valid. I bought solar panels over the summer, right? I bought a solar panel system, and the system that powers that is ENPH. It's made by ENPH. So I do think that ENPH is valid, son. I'm not saying that ENPH is the best thing in the world, but I mean, look how this joint ran, son, before the market tanked. Like, this joint just went stupid, dumb, crazy, retarded, and I definitely think that it's a money-making move, son. I do feel like ENPH will recover very, very well. These are the things that aren't going nowhere. Solar panels are just getting started. I mean, people have been doing solar for a very long time, but the technology going on with solar right now is tough. Like, it's just improving so well. Even just the way that you can sit there and kind of like look at your solar panels, like picking up energy and things like that. It's the microinverters and all those things. Like, it's tough, son. And Tesla's doing solar panels as well. There's so many things to pay attention to. But I would say, if you need your money, son, out of this market, take your money, son. Take your profit. This is not the time to be having diamond hands when you know you need your bread, son. Take your profit. Don't get greedy, because this market will eat you alive, son. It will really chew you up, pause. But I definitely wanted to make sure that I gave you all the information. Son, like always, check out Jermaine's hustle class. Right now, me and my man Jermaine are, we're in the season of giving, so we're offering consultations Mondays and Wednesdays for $5, son. $5 consultations, right? And I think that is the most valid thing that anybody could do, to consult with you about your stocks, your crypto, your Forex, your savings, your 401ks, all these things, right? Just to consult overall about any of those things for $5, and that's crazy. That's stupid, dumb, crazy, retarded, right, son? But look, this is Forever Slow Stroking the Podcast, episode 74, and I just want to thank you all for tuning in. I'll catch y'all next time. All right, son. Peace.